Hi everyone, how are you doing? Good evening and welcome to today's class. Hello. Thank you everyone. Thanks so much for joining the class today. Hi Toby. Hi Tabi, how are you doing? Hi Favor. Hello everyone. Good evening. It's evening from here. I'm in the UK, so it's evening. So good evening. And thank you so much for joining. Hi. Annie, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Yeah, good evening. Hello. Hope we had a nice Sunday. Did we go to church? So thank you everyone for joining. We'll just wait to have more people join so we don't leave anyone behind. Thank you everyone for joining and happy Sunday. Good evening. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you so much, Annie. Annie, I'm fine. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you, Hazi. Don't worry, MTN will have mercy on you. Don't worry. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Ah, skilled creative. Ah, don't worry. You're going to take some time to rest soon, I guess. So nice to see everyone here, and thank you so much for joining the class today. So today's class, we're looking to learn a lot, and this is the class that gets you started with your hands-on practical on AWS. And I'll just wait before we start the class. I will just wait for a few people to join because I want everyone to be present in the class as much as possible. Obviously, we're not going to wait for that long. But before we start the class today, I want to quickly apologize to everyone regarding your assessment. So I noticed a lot of people were sending messages on this channel on unable to actually have access to the classroom to submit your assessment. I'm really sorry. Okay, so Miss Jane, really, I'm sorry, and everyone to try submitting their assessment. So let me start. How many of you actually did your assessment? Can I get in the comment section? Did you actually do your assessment? Because I said we are going to talk about the assessment, even if you were unable to submit it in class. So how many of you actually did your assessments? Because we're going to have a discussion around it before we start with the class. So how many of you did your assessment? Let me know. Okay, I'm waiting. I want to see in the comment section. Okay, okay, I can see. Okay. Uh, Toby, Tabby said she did. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of I did. I'm seeing a lot of I did, but I got only few people with the concern of being unable to access it on the channel. But now I'm getting a lot of I did. I'm going to ask you questions based on your own assessment, even if you're unable to submit it. Are we agreed with that? Can we be having the clash? Because of the numbers, we can't actually have the class. Promise. I'm sorry, we can't have the class using Zoom because of the numbers of people joining. So and some other constraints. So we can't have. I'm so sorry, we can't have the class using Zoom. Okay. So we've waited for almost everybody. Enough time has been given, so let's dive into the class. So, once again, thank you so much for joining today's section foundation for your foundation class for the cloud computing. And I'm so glad to hear that a lot of people enjoyed the class yesterday because you learned a lot. So before we start the class, oh, this is your first time. Thank you so much, and you're welcome. Trust me, you're going to enjoy this class. You're going to enjoy the class. So, before we start the class, let's discuss on your assessments. So, let me start with the challenging part first. Did you encounter any challenge trying to do the assessment yesterday? Did anyone encounter any issue trying to carry out their assessment yesterday before we dive into the assessment proper? Okay. Okay. So yeah, I need you. It's fine. It's okay. Okay, I could see none on my end. Okay, yes. Okay. Skill Creative said she had challenge with the assessments. Okay, number one. Any other person? Did we encounter any challenge? It's fine. It's okay. If you're just joining in today, it's fine. You're exempted for the assessment today. But your assessment is something that needs to be done. But if you were not in class yesterday, it's fine. So I just have one person. Okay, Choma 2213. When you say me too, do you mean you encounter challenge? So I have skilled creative. She says she encountered challenge doing assessment yesterday. So we're going to talk about it. So Chioma, I want to know, did you encounter challenge, or when you say me too, you were referring to something else? Okay, so you're just saying the link for the assessment. Is that it? Okay. Okay, so let's start with creative. Let's start with creative. So creative, you said you encountered challenge. What challenge did you encounter, please? Can everyone hear me? Hope I'm audible. Am I audible enough? Please, can I get to the chat box? Am I audible? Okay, so if you can hear me properly without any interference, can I get a a yes? Am I audible? Can you type yes if I'm audible? Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. So now moving on with the assessment, I noticed a lot of people just join in the class today. Thank you so much, Zulu. Thank you. So regarding the assessment, for those that were in the class yesterday, if you're just joining the class today, it's fine. So for those that were in the class yesterday, I gave an assessment, and due to the link and restrictions, you were not able to submit the assessment, which I'm going to resolve before the submission for today's assessment, which is before for next week. So what challenge did you encounter? Creative, I think, yes, it was creative. You said you encountered challenge trying to do the assessment. Can you please tell me, can you write in the comment section what challenge did you encounter, please? Ah, it was confusing. Okay. And you know, the terminology is one thing I will be covering today as well. Okay, it's okay, it's okay to be confused with certain terminologies, especially if you're a beginner in it. Okay, so it's bravo, applause for you. It's actually a good one that you did your research. It's a hint, and it's good that you did your research. So even me, when I was starting, certain terminologies were also confusing for me. Okay, so that is why you are here, and that is why I'm here to explain and clarify those terminologies. Okay, so can you put in the chat box one terminology that was confusing for you? Just put in the chat box one of the terminologies that was confusing for you. You're welcome, creative. So can you put in the chat box one of the challenges that's one of the terminologies that you found confusing when trying to carry out your assessment? Okay, web servers. Okay, okay, that's perfect. Okay, so when they say web servers, okay, it is going to be confusing because it's your first time of coming in. But when they say web servers, they're talking about the components. I don't want to use big terminology. The components that your platform or your software actually needs to run, okay, that your application, your software, okay, let's say a mobile application now, the servers, the things that it needs to actually function. Okay, that is what the server is. So I'm going to also clarify more. There's a slide to clarify some of these terminologies. Okay, Hope this little explanation is okay for you. So server means it's a group of application, or a group of infrastructures that your application needs to actually function. So, for instance, you have, let's say you have your WhatsApp on your mobile. So there are servers, there are things that your WhatsApp needs to actually run for you to be able to send message to a different person and the person to reply to you. So those are servers. Server is not just, it's a component of, it's in different infrastructures. Does that make sense? Creative, does that make sense? Do you understand? Does this little explanation, do you understand? So I'm going to have purpose section. Yes, the classes are weekends, um Saturday and Sunday from 5 to 6. Okay. The classes are weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 5 to 6. Okay. So creative, does the explanation of the web server clear for you? Is it clear, please? Creative, if you're here, can I get an indication? If the application, the explanation is clear. So now for those that successfully carried out their assessments, can you please tell me, now the assessment was you should actually go and watch a short video about AWS. Okay, so I'm going to explain the assessment now. So the assessment for yesterday was the bootcamp. It's a fundamental cloud computing bootcamp, okay, but specifically on AWS. So the assessment for yesterday was you should go watch a short video or carry out a research on AWS and one platform or any business software platform that is using AWS services to carry out their business functions. Okay. So that was the assessment yesterday. So did anyone successfully do that? Oh, I'm so sorry. There's noise in the background. Oh, so sorry. Am I audible now? Okay, apologies. So am I audible now? Okay. Can you see my slides? Can you see my slides as well? Let me know. So you can see my face, but not my slides. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, so let's clarify this. First of all, let's go with, am I audible? I just want to get a yes. Are you still getting the interference? The noise. Are you still getting the noise from the background? Okay, so yes, I'm audible. Thank you. So now, can you see my slides? If you can see my slide, just say yes, I can see your slides. Okay, thank you so much, pop-up section. Okay, so thank you so much. Now, so the assessment for yesterday was watch a short video on AWS or actually carry out a research on AWS and pick one of the platforms or business that uses AWS and one service of AWS which they use. So that was the assessment yesterday. So I saw a lot of people say they did the assessment. Did you successfully carry this out? Did you successfully do this? So only Creative said she was confused about the terminology, so she's exempted. So every other person that said yes and you were in class yesterday, did you successfully carry out this assessment? Okay, so I'm saying yes. So Ruth, you said yes. Thank you so much. So can you please tell me in the chat box what you found out about AWS, which was the research? Number two, just briefly. So two, which platform did you find that is using AWS? And which one, just name one of the AWS service that you carried out the research that they are using. Ruth, can you help us? So any other person that actually did the assessment as well. So write in the comment section what you found about AWS and which platform did you pick or did you search that you encountered that is using AWS, that you confirmed rather that is using AWS, and which of the AWS services are they using for their business, their platform, their website, their software? So just put that. So pop-up section, AWS, it was discussed yesterday in the class. There are you on the Slack channel. There's a learning manual there as well. So you can read through it. But while I'm waiting for the people in the class yesterday to respond to the comment section, I'll briefly tell you what AWS, please. So AWS is a cloud provider, one of the mostly used cloud providers. We have others. We have Azure, which is owned by Microsoft. We have GCP, which is owned by Google, and we have AWS. These are cloud platforms that are widely used by businesses. Okay, so if you're on the Slack channel, I have posted the learning material on the Slack channel. So yes, for the classroom, yes, there was an issue with submitting assessment in the classroom. The classroom is an assessment. So you said you were not here yesterday, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so now let's go back to the assessment so we can move on with our class for today. So Root 43 says Amazon Web Services is a secure cloud computing platform that allows one to host websites and applications while scaling your servers up and down and needed paying only for what you use, which is okay. Yes, that's aligned with the part of the services that AWS provides. Okay, so did anyone carry out the assessment? So I'm seeing Williams Comfort. Yeah, AWS services is an Amazon. Perfect. See, I have a very, very intelligent people in class. Thank you so much for carrying out this assessment. I was unable to join the classroom. It's fine. That will be resolved. So yes, William says Google Cloud. No, Google Cloud is a different cloud provider. So AWS, they can't use AWS services. Okay, they have their own cloud services. Were you in class yesterday, please? The LC, were you in class yesterday, please? Yes, the one I said in class. Yes, the assessment I'm talking about is the one I said in class. Yes. Thank you. Maybe Judith, thank you. Yes. Um, Skilled Creative. The platform use AWS. LinkedIn, Slack, Zoom, Canva. Thank you. Yes, this platform uses AWS. Perfect. For yeah, photo wave, yeah, they use AWS EC2. That is perfectly answered, and that is true. Then we have the database to store. Okay, yes, the LC, yes, that's the assessment we're talking about. No, the assessment I'm discussing today is the one for yesterday, and the reason why we're discussing it today is because you were unable to submit it due to the link restriction, which will be resolved. Okay, so thank you everyone for the assessment. You all did well. You all did well. I can see you did the assessment. So yes, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. Netflix use yes. Ruth, you did an assessment. Netflix uses AWS Content Delivery Network. Yes. Yes. They use AWS Content Delivery Network. So this particular content delivery network is what enables you as an individual, as a Netflix user, to be in London, for instance, and you'll be able to access AWS, you'll be able to access network movies all over the world. So this content delivery network brings users close to whatever response they're looking for on the internet. So yes, perfect. You did your research. Ruth, thank you. And thank you everyone for doing the assessment. So let's move on to today's class. Welcome everyone to week one, section two for the foundation cloud computing bootcamp. And I'm so excited to see you all back today. And today we'll be covering a lot, and today we'll be diving into hands-on as well. So I'll introduce myself again. My name is Emanuela, and I am a solution architect. I have 8 years of experience across three cloud providers, which is AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Okay. So for the sake of this boot camp, we will be discussing AWS. I will be teaching AWS. Okay. And our learning objectives for today. So today, this is what we'll be covering. So this is what we'll be covering for today. Today class, I'm going to explain the characteristics of cloud computing to you. Okay. When we talk about the characteristics of cloud computing, what are they? Why are people using cloud computing? Okay. So we're actually going to discuss that, and we'll talk about we'll also describe cloud services models. Someone brought up this question yesterday. We briefly talked about two. So I would discuss it in details. You're going to know what is cloud. When someone says cloud service models, you're going to know what it is, and you'll be able to identify each of them. Okay. And the next thing we'll be covering for today is the AWS. I saw pop-up section just ask what is AWS. So I will briefly tell us what is AWS again, even if we discussed it yesterday. And then after that, we're going to identify the core services of AWS. Okay. And we would understand the AWS global infrastructure. When someone says, what is AWS global infrastructure? You're going to understand what it is, this terminology, so you know when a person says something like this. Okay. And then we will start your AWS free tier account creation. So you're going to I will walk you through how to create your AWS free tier account. If you're fast enough, I can walk you through that and we'll create it together on this live class. But if you can't create it on the live class, it's fine. This is a part of the things I gave you in your assessment today, which you'll be submitting before Wednesday next week. Okay. I'm going to walk you through how to create it successfully. But if you can follow up with the steps, I'm ready to guide you while we do it together on the live. Okay. And the next thing we will be covering is I'm going to show you how to navigate the AWS management console. So I'm going to show you what the AWS management console looks like, so you familiarize yourself on how to identify things. So it's just like you're using your WhatsApp. Okay, so let's say now you have to know where to go on AWS management console to search for services, to deploy services, to identify things. So these are things that we're going to look at today as well. So the next thing we're going to talk about is your assessment submission. Okay, so these are all of the things we'll be covering for today. Okay, are we clear? Okay, so you have a question. What question, please, Uche? Yeah, I'm going to answer you. Mary, I'm going to answer your questions. Okay, why we choose AWS? Okay, so Uche, you say you have a question. What is your question, please? Uche, what is your question before I move forward? What is the question, please? Uche, are you still here? Okay, Uche, if you're still here, please can you drop your questions clearly in the comment section? I'm going to respond, okay? So moving forward to Mary. Mary, you said why we chose AWS over the other cloud providers. Now, for choosing AWS over the other cloud providers, this is what the question is you just asked is a very brilliant one. You know why? Even professionals like me, professionals like you, CEOs, founders, these are decisions that they have to make when wanting to choose a cloud provider. And now for this boot camp specifically, I choose AWS because I have a 98% hands-on experience on AWS. So that doesn't mean the other cloud providers, I didn't choose them because of any, like, they're not good. No, I chose them because I myself, my company, we use more of AWS. Okay, so I chose them because I have a 98% hands-on on AWS. And for this particular question, if you want to choose your cloud provider, so let's say your company, they are not bent on using a particular cloud provider, Mary, and you are part of the decision makers. The things you look out for when choosing a cloud provider is one, does this cloud provider meet with the services that we want to deploy, or the services that our website, our application, our platform actually needs to function properly? Mary, do you understand? And the next thing is you have to check the costs. No one wants to pay outrageous amounts. Okay, so you have to check the costs. What are you getting if you buy this service from platform A as compared to buying it from platform B? Okay. Another thing you need to consider is the service that the platform that provides the best service for your business. Okay. So these and many other things you need to consider when choosing a cloud provider. As long as your company is open to choosing a different cloud provider for a project, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mary. It's good that this answered your question. Yes. So, Mary, now, if you, okay, Mary, let's say I am a founder of a company and you are coming into my company as a solution architect. And This company have been running for years, so we're using AWS for instance. All our infrastructure is on AWS, so we want to stick to AWS. We're not willing to explore any other cloud provider. We just want to work on with one. Okay, then you have to build your solutions around the cloud provider that the company work with. Okay, but if your company is working, some company work with all of the cloud providers. Okay, some company work with AWS, Azure, GCP. They could have their database on Azure, and they have their network provider on AWS, and they have their AI agents on Google. Yes, some company work with the multi-cloud solutions. They go with the one that provides the best cost, like I said, the best services, the best everything for their business. So these are the things you consider. Okay. Does this answer the question, Mary? Let me know if it answers your question. Okay. And now we'll move on to the next. So we'll move on to the next slide for the class. Does everyone understand? Is it clear? Can I get a yes in the comment section? Thank you, Mary. So now we'll be discussing, we will just give a brief review of what we learned yesterday for the sake of those that were not in class yesterday, like pop-up, I think pop-up section, that's its name. Okay. So for the sake of those that were not in class yesterday we talked about, we actually covered what is cloud computing. Okay, we discussed briefly what cloud computing is. So when they ask what is cloud computing, we're not referring to the cloud on the sky. Okay, so we're talking about a cloud computing in terms of computerization. Okay, so we mentioned the benefit of using cloud computing yesterday. Can someone list the benefits for me? What are some of the benefits we discussed on using cloud computing? Yesterday, we covered benefits for using cloud computing. What are the benefits? Can someone list them for me? Yes, Hi guys, can you see me now? Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry, but good to know we're back. And so sorry. So let's continue from where we stopped. Okay, so I was talking about the recap for yesterday. Okay. So yesterday what we covered was yesterday we covered about the benefits, and now you've listed a lot of benefits. Okay, so when it comes to AWS and cloud providing in general, we talked about it. There are a lot of benefits. That is why companies are moving towards that. Okay, that is why companies are adopting the cloud native solutions. Okay, now, yesterday also we looked about using the traditional IT and using cloud computing, the benefit of using traditional IT and using cloud computing. So when we talked about traditional IT, we talked about we gave example like imagine you bought a phone and your phone doesn't have an inbuilt memory and you need to save your pictures. You need to save your pictures. If you're using traditional IT storage method, you will have to go and buy an external saving device. Was that right? Did you discuss about that yesterday? Did we talk about that yesterday? So you will have to go and buy an external storage device to use. Was that part of the things we talked about yesterday? I want to get a yes. Okay, I got a yes. Okay. Yes, exactly. So these were part of the things we talked about yesterday. We saw the benefits of adopting cloud and how businesses used to do storage or actually deploy solutions previously and how it is now when we're using cloud. So these are the things we talked about yesterday. And also yesterday we identified AWS services that are used daily. Can you list in the comment section for me which of the AWS services that we identified yesterday that is used daily? Which ones did we talk about yesterday? The AWS services that is used daily. S3. Thank you so much, Favor. Okay, which other one? EC2. Thank you so much. Yes. See, I have very intelligent people in my class. Super intelligent. Okay. Which other one? Lambda. So it is called Lambda. Yes, Lambda. We talked about Lambda yesterday. Which other one? EC2 VPC. Yes, we talked about all of this. Thank you so much. IAM, yes. So yesterday we looked at the core services that is used by AWS daily. Okay. So that is what we looked at yesterday. Yes, LDS. So now we'll be moving forward to the next. So the next today on the slide is, can you list in the chat box when I say characteristics of a cloud computing, what do you think I'm talking about? So let's say you're working in an organization or you're in school and someone says, tell me the characteristics of cloud computing. What do you think the person is asking about? Can you put in the comment section for me? Let's know. When they say, tell me the characteristics of something, what do you mean they're talking about? So, what do you understand by the characteristics of cloud computing? Exactly. Okay. I need more response, please. Futures. Thank you. Futures. We're talking about attributes. That's it. We're talking about the attributes, the futures. Yes. What can they do? Okay. Yes. Okay. The benefit of, okay. You see, a lot. A lot. Okay. So now, when we say we'll be discussing 5 characteristics of cloud computing in this slides, so we're looking at the futures, the attributes, the benefits of using cloud computing. Okay, so now one of the these are few of the core benefits of using cloud computing. So when you're using cloud computing, you pay on demand service. So when we say pay on demand services, so what it means is this: you pay for services that you tend to use. Okay? So you pay for services that you tend to use. You're not going to say, because I need a network for my mobile application, I will have to go and buy um a network warehouse to actually function. No. So you pay for services, pay on demand services. So it means the cloud providers have a lot of pay on demand services. Okay. So now the second characteristics is cloud computing provide broad network. Can someone tell me, what do you mean when I say cloud computing rather, they provide broad network? What do you mean by that? What do we understand when I say cloud computing provide broad network? Can you put in the comment section? What do you think I am saying when I say they provide broad network? Yes, they provide wide network. That's it, Ruth. Mary, yeah, they provide wide network. Any other person wants to give it a try? Large network, yes. So cloud computing provides businesses with large network. So imagine you have a business in the UK, okay, for instance, and your business is not looking at just having customers that are based in UK only. Your business is looking at having customers that are based in UK, in India, in Canada, in Nigeria, in Australia. So these cloud services provide you with this network. You don't need to start going to deploy or to start building a network storage center in different locations. With these cloud providers, you can easily access it. Okay? That is what it means when they say it provides broad network. So the next characteristics is shared responsibility. So when they say cloud computing have or it provides, or one of the characteristics of benefit is shared responsibility, it means, for instance, let's say we use the WhatsApp and the external device example yesterday. So for instance, let's say you want to buy an external device for your phone, okay? But you don't want to totally, you want to have some level of control or some level of tweak on the external device. So it means the cloud provider is going to give you options where they will provide you with the hardware of the storage system, okay? The server, someone talked about web servers, they will provide you with a server, but you, as the owner, as the company, as the client, you are responsible for choosing the operating system that you want to use. Okay? And now you are responsible for managing that operating system. Does it make sense? Do you understand? Let me know in the comment section. Do you understand when they say share responsibility? Sorry, share resources rather. Do you understand? Can you put in the comment section? So do you understand when they say this AWS have shared resources? So does someone else understand when you say shared resources? So it makes it easy. It makes it easy to adopt a solution when it is shared. It makes it easy for startups. So cloud providers have shared resources. Okay, you can use you and I can use the cloud computing or the cloud providers internet. We're sharing on the internet, but we still have privacies. We're still in isolation. Okay, so I'm going to explain again. So when they say one of the characteristics of cloud computing is shared resources, it means they provide services. The services that they provide are shared. It's not solely owned. Okay, so let me give an example. For instance, you're buying an MTN network. Okay, and now you if you buy the MTN network alone as an individual, you're going to pay more. Am I right or wrong? If you're buying the network alone as one person, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay more because you'll be the one to deploy the network, you'll be the one to manage the network, you pay full amount. Am I right or no? But if you're using a shared resource and you're five in number, for instance, you're going to share that amount amongst yourself. What does it mean? It means you're going to pay less. Okay, so AWS is the cloud provider, and it provides services for users to share, to use, making them pay less. Exactly. Okay, so that is one of the benefits. Okay, now the next one is rapid scalability. Who understand when I say rapid scalability? Who understand when I say rapid? Who understand when I say rapid elasticity? Who understand? Sorry. What do you understand when I say exactly? It's easy to expand. But what is the right word you're going to use? Don't use the expand. We used a certain terminology. From next class, we'll be using that terminology. So I want us to get used to it. Okay. So when you say rapid elasticity, what is the right word to put there? Easy to expand, yes. But there is a word I'm looking. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Annie. Scalability. It's easy for business to scale. Get used to this terminology. I think it was creative that says the terminology. Yes, I need you to get used to this terminology because when you go for interviews, when you're talking with techies, they won't use these other words. Okay, so you have to speak the language when you're there. When you go to Nigeria, you speak Pidgin, right? When you come to the UK, you speak Queen's English. So when you want to be a techie, you have to know these terminologies. Okay. So the word I was looking for was scalability, and that is it. So it provides cloud computing provides scalability for businesses. Okay. Now, the next characteristics or the next benefits, pay as you go. So remember we talked about pay as you go yesterday. Am I right or wrong? We talked about pay as you go yesterday. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yesterday, did we talk about the pay as you go? Did you discuss about the pay as you go? Yes. So yes, exactly. So yesterday we talked about the pay as you go. Yes, exactly. That's the serverless. Yeah. Yesterday we talked about the pay as you go. I have a very intelligent participant. Thank you so much. Yes. Yesterday we talked about the pay as you go, which is one of the benefit that was discussed. Okay. So one of the benefit of using cloud computing, you can choose to use a serverless service, which is what Mary just said. A serverless service, you get to pay for only what your platform uses. You don't pay for idle compute. Okay, that is what is pay as you go. Okay, so but in the techie term, you're going to use the word serverless. I want to start introducing us to this word. Okay, so you're going to use when they say this is a serverless service, or when your boss or someone says, I want you to design a serverless architecture for me, the person is typically saying, I want you to design the architecture using only pay as you go services. Okay? Exactly, pay as you use it. So the next characteristics is now we talked about this one yesterday also. Automatic updates. Am I right or wrong? We talked about it yesterday. Now, when you're using the cloud compute, the cloud service, you are not bothering yourself about updating the application. Did someone remember? I used the example of your Yahoo email when we're talking about software as a service. Am I right or wrong? So, if you're using the cloud provider, they manage any updates on the application. And we also described this and gave an example using AWS Lambda yesterday. Am I right or wrong? Am I right? Yes. So yesterday we talked about this. So if you're using if you're using the cloud computing, you don't bother yourself about updates. Some of the services, the cloud provider provides the updates. Okay. And now the next slide is understanding the tech world. So please tell me if I am too fast, okay? Just let me know if I'm too fast. If I'm too fast, say please, you're too fast, okay? So now we'll be talking about understanding the tech work. So, how tech works? How does it work? Now, someone talked about the terminologies, which we'll be looking at today. So, when someone says the hardware of a compute or the hardware, what do you think the person is talking about? I want to get in the comment section. What do you understand by hardware? Can you type in the comment section, please? What do you understand by hardware? Thank you. Something you can touch. Yes. Hardware is the physical part of a computer or a computing system that you can touch, you can feel it. Okay? That is the hardware. Yes, the physical components, okay, that you can touch. So, what do you understand when we say operating system? What do you understand when we say operating system? What do you understand by operating system? The software, yes. Operating system is the software. Yes. I like this one. I like this one. It's what makes the system run. Any other one? What do you understand by operating system? It carries the process. Thank you. So hardware is what you can touch, you can feel it. It's the part of the computer that you can feel, you can touch it, you can physically see it. Why the software is what manages the hardware, what actually make the hardware to communicate. Okay, it's the application. Yes. So now, when you say server, what do you understand by server? Is creative still here? Creative, remember you asked this question before we started the class. Creative, if you're here, can you please type in the comment section? What do you understand by server? So this, I want, yes, so yeah. Yeah, creative, I can see you now. Yes. So remember you asked this question earlier. So let's dive deep into it so you understand. So what do you understand by server? When you say server, what do you understand by server? A network is a storage place. Windows, okay? A room where all the servers are carried out, okay? Any more? Servers. Server manages exactly other computer device. Yes. So all of the responsive was given about server, that is what it is. Okay? It's the server is actually what does the work. Okay? It's what does the work in our computer. Does that make sense? Is it clear? Is it clear? Creative, do you understand what a server is now? Yes, a server runs the system. Creative, do you understand what it means now when we say server? You asked this question earlier, so I really need you to understand it. Just let me know in the comment section if you understand. So the next one is the platform. So what do you understand when someone tells you platform? When they say a platform. Now, I'm talking about, you're welcome. Thank you. It's good you understand now. So when someone says a platform, what do you understand by a platform? I want you to tell me in your own term, in your own understanding. If I come to you and I say, I want you to design a platform for me, or I say to you, I said, go to platform A and carry out this function. What do you think I'm talking about? Exactly. Thank you. A platform is an environment where application runs. That is what it is. A platform is the ecosystem, okay? It is the environment where software runs, okay? Exactly. It is an environment. That is what a platform is. So I need you to understand. And now, what is a software? Because new beginners always mix up platform and software. Okay. So I need you to understand each of the stems. Okay. So it says it's software that gives data. So what is a software? Yes, this is nice. Yeah. So what else do you understand by software? A software actually runs in a platform. Okay. A software is designed to solve a specific problem, is designed to meet the challenge of a particular audience. Okay. So let me give you an example of a software. Yes, it helps you carry out a task. That's it. So let me give you an example of a software. Your WhatsApp that you're using is a software. Why? Because it provides it solved one problem, which is helping its users, helping individuals to communicate, to communicate using mobile application or using web application. Now, an example, can someone put in the chat box an example of a platform? Give me examples of platforms that you know. Give me example of platform that you know. No, a platform. Give me an example of a platform that you know. So when we talk about thank you, this is it. So when we talk about platform, a platform is the ecosystem. It doesn't just solve one problem. Okay? A platform doesn't just solve one problem. It is a software that solves a problem. I saw some response that say Slack, YouTube, and all. Those are softwares. A platform solves lots of. It actually has with a platform you can have a software from it. Okay, do you understand? So if you see a software that it's designed to just communicate or just to chat or just to view or just to view images, that is a software. Why a platform have is an environment where you can design a software from. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes. Is that clear, please? Yes. So yesterday, someone asked a question about infrastructure. Someone asked a question about um, infrastructure as a service and software as a service yesterday. So we briefly talked about this yesterday. So now, when you hear of when someone says cloud service models, okay, these are the cloud service models. Okay, we have infrastructure as service, and we have platform as service, we have software as service. Okay, so infrastructure as service, can someone give me in the chat box? I know yesterday we talked about this thing. So what do you think is an infrastructure as a service, a cloud infrastructure as a service? What do you understand by cloud infrastructure as a service? When we say infrastructure as a service, what do you understand? Okay. Okay. So someone said no, they don't understand. So, okay. So I'm going to explain. So when we say infrastructure as a service, okay, it is a shared responsibility. For infrastructure as a service, it is a shared responsibility. Okay. You have like you manage parts of the components while the cloud provider manage the others. So now um, infrastructure as a service is, for instance, your boss or you want to choose a service, and in that service, you're going to be the one to manage the operating system. Okay, you're managing the operating system. Why the cloud provider is managing the hardware, the database, the memory, and all. That is infrastructure as service. Do you understand? So, infrastructure as service, you have a role in it. You have a responsibility in that infrastructure. You have a responsibility in that infrastructure. Do you understand? Is it clear? Can you type a yes if it's clear? Is it clear? Is the explanation clear? So if someone tells you an infrastructure as a service, know that the person is talking about shared responsibility. Okay? The company have a responsibility in that infrastructure as well. Responsibility to take care of their operating system. Okay? And the cloud provider have a responsibility to manage the hardware. Okay? To manage the memories. Okay? Yes. So so the next one we're going to talk about is platform as a service. So if you hear the word platform as a service, what should come to your mind is they're talking about platform where you get to manage the code. Okay. What you're going to manage in this case is you're managing your code, you're managing your website's business logic. Okay. And now the platform is in charge of managing every other thing. The only thing you're managing in the platform is your business logic, the code, the configuration. Okay. Is that clear? Can I get a yes if platform as a service explanation is clear? If the platform as a service explanation is clear, can I get yes, please? If it's not clear, I want to know so I can explain better. So when you hear platform as a service, okay, no. So when someone says platform, this infrastructure or this model is a platform as a service, it means you as the individual, you as the client, or you as the company, you are in charge in managing only your codes, the code where your application runs. That is the business logic. That is what you're managing. Okay? That is what you're managing. But the platform which you're using is in charge of managing every other thing that that application needs to function. Is it clear? It's basically you are going to the platform, you're using their services, but you are managing your codes, your business logics. Okay, why the platform is managing every other thing, the server, the memory, the configuration, every other thing. You are only going there to deploy your application and manage it. Okay, that is what is platform as a service. Okay, so now we talked about software as a service briefly yesterday, so I'm going to give it into detail. So when you hear software as a service, it means you just go to the platform, you use their you just go to the platform for its usage, you use their services, you pay for what you use, and you go. You don't have any business with updates, you don't have any business with configuration, you don't have no business with nothing. You are just using the software service, and that is it. Is it clear? Can I get a yes if the explanation is clear? Can I get a yes if the explanation is clear, please? So, Faith, you said no. So, no to which one? So I'm going to take it again. When we say infrastructure as service, what we mean is shared responsibility. So it means you, Faith, you're going to manage part of the cloud service. You're going to manage part of it. Why the cloud provider you're using are going to manage the other parts. So in this case, the cloud provider is going to manage the hardware, the memory, and you, Faith, you're going to manage the operating system of your application. So that is what we mean by infrastructure as a service. It is a shared responsibility. Okay. So now when we say platform as a service, platform as a service means you only go here to write your code. Platform as a service, you are in charge of your code, the business logic, the deployments. Okay. You just go there. Let's say now, where this is AWS, we're going to AWS. We just type in, I want to deploy my code using Java. You pick the Java and all of the functions. You click, and that is all you do. Your application runs. AWS manages the updates, the configuration, the deployment, everything. You only manage your code. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, in this case, this is what it means. And now, when you say software as a service, yes, 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 yes. Pay as you go still goes as platform as a service. And I'm coming there. You're going to give me examples. I want to finish the explanation. So when I ask you for examples, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So now, do we all understand when I say infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service? Do we all understand? Can I get a yes? When I tell you, if I come to class tomorrow and I say, tell me what is platform as a service, what is infrastructure as a service, what is software as a service, can you tell me? Do you all understand? Okay. Now I've gotten a yes. Okay. So now give me one examples of each. When I tell, give me an example of which AWS service do you think is based on what we covered yesterday? Which AWS service do you understand to be an infrastructure as a service? Okay. And which AWS service do you understand to be a platform as a service? So, okay, do it like this. Okay. Okay, so I got, okay, so you're saying EC2 is an infrastructure as a service. Perfect. That is it. EC2 is an infrastructure. Yes. Okay, so please put it like this. Okay, just put the answers this way so we know which one you're responding to. So give me examples of which is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Exactly. Yes. Lambda. Lambda is platform as a service. EC2 is infrastructure as a service. Okay, so someone says she's not clear with software as a service. So when we say software as a service, okay, so Mary, I want examples using AWS services only. AWS services only. So when we say software as a service, okay, it means you are not responsible for anything. Ahmed, you're not responsible for anything. You only go to, you only adopt that AWS software, use it, pay for what you use. That's if you're paying for it, or actually utilize the function and go. AWS manages the configuration, the application, the memory, everything. Is it clear? Ahmed, is it clear? For software as a service, you just go there, you get busy with whatever you want to accomplish with that service you've picked. You get it running and you leave. AWS manages everything. Ahmed, is it clear? Ahmed, let me know if it's clear, please. So someone says S3 bucket is yeah. So S3 is a software as a service. I need another one. Which other examples should we give as yes? Amazon Connect. Amazon Connect is a software as a service. Perfect. I have intelligent participants here. Can you give me more examples, please? We have a lot of them. Amazon Connect is also a software as a service. Do you know why? Ahmed, Amazon Connect, Ahmed said he doesn't understand software as a service. So that's why I really want to explain. Amazon Connect, which is one of the examples that someone has gave, is this service. What it does is an AI contact center. So what it does is it's a pay as you go even. Companies that want 24 hours interaction with their customers, they adopt this. So the company only configure the Amazon Connect. They don't manage any underlying factor. AWS manages everything. They only pay for using the software. They only pay for using the software. You don't break your head with, oh, the software needs to update, the software needs configuration. No, you don't bother yourself about that. Okay, so thank you so much. Hope we all understand this now. When they say AWS, or when they say cloud service model, do you know what it means? Can I get a yes in the comment section? When someone says cloud service model, infrastructure as code, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, do we all know what you're talking about? Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to the next slide. Now we're introducing AWS, okay? We introduced AWS yesterday. Let's briefly do that. So what is AWS? AWS is one of the largest, most used cloud computing or cloud providing platform. Okay, it provides services across different organizations, different sectors, different software users, and all of that. So why is AWS the market leader? Okay, like I said, AWS is one of the market leaders, and why? Because of its wide range of services. AWS have a lot of service. Okay, so because of this wide range of services, I think someone asked me why we chose AWS. This is one of the reasons you have to look out for when choosing a cloud provider. Okay, so the next thing is industry using AWS. So there are a lot of industry using AWS. A lot. We identified them yesterday. We have the hospitals, we have the schools, we have social media platforms. We have a lot of them. A lot of sectors, a lot of industries are using AWS. Okay. Now, the benefit of using AWS, there are tremendous benefit of using AWS. The shared service responsibility, the pay as you go services, the maintenance, a lot of benefit of using AWS. Okay. And one benefit that I personally would say why I use AWS is the easy usage documentation, which I'm going to show you as well. One of the benefits I love about using AWS is very easy, and I love their interface. It's easy to access as well. I'm going to show you AWS interface also. Okay, so these are the benefits. These are these are few of the benefits of using AWS. Do we understand? Can I get a yes if it is clear? Do we understand? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Easy usage documentation. Yeah, it is. So now, when we talk about AWS, we can't talk about AWS without mentioning AWS well architected framework. Okay. So when we talk about AWS well architected framework, what we're talking about is the rule that governs deploying a successful architecture using AWS. When we talk about the framework, we're talking about the framework or the rules that AWS have set for your architecture to meet before it is recognized as effective, before it is recognized as efficient. Do you understand? Do you understand what I mean when I say AWS well architected framework? Okay. So can someone tell me in the comment section, what do you understand by AWS well architected framework? When someone says AWS well architected framework, what do you understand? What do you understand by AWS well architected framework? Can you put it in the comment section, please? What do we understand when they say AWS well architected framework? If your boss is telling you, what is the AWS well architected framework? What do you think your boss is asking you? What do you think that person is asking you? Requirements to be a cloud host? No, that's not really it. No. Chema, no. You're close. Chema, You're close, but not really it. Very close. Just few words that needs to be um modernized or replaced. The design used, maybe not the design used. No. Okay, she says she's a bit confused. Okay, let me explain again. Yes, this is it. So I'm going to explain to those that are confused, but this is what a well architected framework means. So when someone tells you, tell me the AWS well architected framework. So when they say well architected framework, I'm going to break it down. It means well, something that is good, something that is perfect. Architected is a structure, your architecture, your building. Now, the framework, when they say a framework, the foundation, what it needs to meet. Okay? So now, AWS well architected framework is the set rule that governs a perfect and efficient architecture. For your architecture to say it is up to standard, it has to meet this AWS architected framework. Do you understand now? Someone says she didn't understand. Do you understand now? Please put in the comment section if you do understand now. Okay, you said a bit confusing. Yes. Imabon, you said a bit confusing. Do you understand now? Do you understand what it means by AWS well architected frameworks? Yes, this is what it means. Imabon, I want you to understand. Please let me know if you've understood. It feels it is a set of best practices deployed by AWS to help organization design. That is what it is. Thank you so much, Imabo. So now I want you to tell me in your own understanding. Put in the comment section, what do you understand now when someone tells you, Imabo, tell me, what is the AWS well architected framework? Put it in the comment section. I want to also put in the comment section when someone tells you, what is the AWS architected framework? Put it in the comment section. Okay, so while you're typing that in the comment section, these are the AWS well architected framework. Number one, operational excellence. Operational excellence. What they mean by operational excellence, it means your application has to be running, monitoring the system and the business values. It has to meet up to this standard. Okay, Faith, I'm saying it again. So now we've understood what we mean by well architected AWS well architected framework. So now these are the AWS well architected framework. Number one, your architecture have to meet up to operational excellence. Okay, it has to meet up with operational excellence. What is the operational excellence? Do you understand now, Faith? One of the AWS well architected framework, it has to meet up with operational excellence. So now the operational excellence means, okay, I'm still explaining, okay? So the operational excellence in this case means your architecture has to be in line with the business requirements, the business values, for it to be considered well architected, for it to be considered, let's use the word excellence. Now, the next AWS well architected framework is security. If your application is not secured, it's not well designed. So so for me to make this clear, yes, it is the requirements. Yes. AWS frame for yes. So now, so let's say AWS is a house we're building. Okay. So we want to build a house. And where we get the building equipment and the materials needed to build that house, it's from AWS. And now AWS is telling us for us to build a house that meets up with the standard. Since we're in Nigeria, let me use this one. A house that won't be carried by flood. A house that is standard. One, it has to meet up with operational excellence. And operational excellence means that house has to meet up with your requirements, which is the business values. It has to be in line with the business values. The second thing that house you're building, it has to be secured. It means any of the services that you want to choose from AWS, it has to be secured. The design has to be secured. Okay? For it to be well architected, it has to be reliable. So when we say a design is reliable, it means it can stand the test of time. It can scale to meet up with demand. Okay, that is what we mean by reliability. So now performance efficiency. So it has to actually function properly. When you say performance efficiency, it means the application has to do the work that the business wants from it. So let's say we're designing an app to be able to call, okay? So for that app to meet up with AWS well architected framework, that app to actually carry out the function of calling, of actually dialing someone's number. Okay? So the next one is performance efficient. Okay, we've talked about performance efficient, sorry. The next one is cost optimization. We talked about cost optimization yesterday. Am I right or wrong? Cost optimization. I told you, no company, if you're a business owner, no company wants to pay an outrageous amount of money to get things done. They want to pay a reasonable amount of money. Am I right or wrong? Can I get a comment section? So you as a person, you don't want to pay too much high for something. You want to design an application that is cost efficient. Okay, yes, we talked about this yesterday. Okay, so and the last AWS well architected framework is sustainability. Do you understand when they say something is sustainable? What do you understand when I say one of the AWS well architected framework is sustainability? Can you put in the comment section? What do you understand when we say one of the AWS well architected framework is sustainability? What do you understand by it? Exactly. Still going on, no matter what. So let's say, let me give an example. Let's say you built an app, and the first time you launch that app, okay, the first time you launch that app, it was just one person that was using it. Maybe only your mommy or only your daddy was using the app. That was the only customer you had. Now you started doing marketing for this application and you had so many users. Now, can this application or this website that you have designed and built, can it still stand the test of time, which is Skype in demand? Can it still meet up with 100 users? Can it still meet up with 2 million users? Do you understand? Okay. So these are the AWS well architected framework. We have the operational excellence, which means your design or your software, your any service you're using it for, it has to be in line with operational excellence, which is meeting the business requirements. Number two, it has to be secure. Your design, your deployment, it has to be secure. Number three, reliability. It has to be reliable. Can we rely on this service? Can we rely on this architecture? Number four, performance efficiency. It has to actually do the work that you're designing it to do, that you're building it to do. Okay. And number five is cost optimization. And number six is sustainability. Okay. You're going to fill your attendance, yes, but you have to wait till close to the end of the class. Okay. Not now. Now, the next slide we'll be talking about is AWS documentation. So the AWS documentation, this is where you go that continue to benefit people over time. Yeah. So the AWS documentation, this is where you go to find services, AWS services to use and understand the service, what they do. Okay. So I'm going to show you AWS documentation platform, what it looks like right now. Okay. So I want you to have a view of what it looks like. A few minutes. Okay. So let's go to AWS documentation. So what it looks like, how you can find the services and how to use them. So I'm going to share my screen, my other screen with you. Can you see the AWS documentation? Let me know if you can see it. Let me know when you can see it, okay? Can you see the platform? So this is AWS documentation. So this is AWS documentation, okay? This is what the documentation platform is. So what this documentation site is really important for you. You know why? AWS have lots. You see all of this you're seeing here. These are AWS services. These are AWS services. You can see we have the SageMaker, we have the Queon, we have the Lambda. We've talked about Lambda. We have VPC. We have a lot. From this documentation, see, we currently have 335 products. Okay, here you can find all of the AWS services. You can read about them. So let's say right now we want to read about, let's say Lambda. You can come here, you click on Lambda. Okay, you can come here, you click on Lambda. It's going to give you detailed information of what Lambda is, best usage for Lambda, how to use Lambda. So this is what it is. Get started with serverless. This is AWS documentation. So I would like you to know this to really use this documentation during this class and even after the class. So we talked about EC2. You can see EC2 user guide. You can click on it to find more information. It gives you information about what is EC2, the type of EC2s and all. Okay, it gives you detailed information. Detailed information. You can come here, you can see security and all of that. So this is what AWS documentation is. Okay, do you understand? Can you give me a no or a yes? Do you understand what it means? So AWS documentation is where you go to find more information about AWS services. It is really helpful. Even for me, I've been 8 years in cloud, and this is helpful. Do you know why it is helpful? These cloud providers, they bring in new services as time goes on. Okay, new services are being brought into the market, new changes. Like recently, AWS merged with Claude AI, a lot of things. So this documentation comes handy. This is your AWS information center. Okay, you go here, you understand the service in details. I'm a solution architect. I work with AWS, but before I pick any solution, I come here, I read about it to ensure that this solution or the service I am picking, it's in line with the deployment with what I want to do. Okay, do we understand? Okay, so the next the next one on our slide we're going to be talking about is a few minutes, I'll share the slides. So can you see my slides? Please let me know when you can see my slides, okay? So this is AWS, okay, documentation. You can see the AWS website is there. I'm going to put them in the comment section before the class ends. You can copy them and keep them, okay? And now the core AWS services we'll be talking about in this program, in the course, is the core AWS we'll be talking about in the course. It says you've responded. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Can you just message me on the slides? Is any other person having issue with the attendance form? Okay. The form isn't allowing response. Okay, so someone is going to help clarify that. Just be patient, okay? Before the end of the class, we're going to sort the attendance for you, okay? So this is the core AWS services we'll be talking about in this class. EC2, S3, Lambda, RDS, VPC, okay? These are the AWS services we'll be talking about in the class, okay? Someone is going to help you sort the attendance before the class ends, just a few minutes. So these are the core services we'll be talking about in the class, okay? I want you to go to AWS documentation I have shown to you, read more about the services. These are the services we'll be working on. Read more about the services and the other services as well, okay? So these are the ones we'll be talking about. And now I'm trying to see if I can. Okay, so I just dropped a link for the attendance in the comment section. Try marking the attendance and let's see if it still has the same problem. Okay, just can someone try and let me know if it still has the same problem? Because I can see from here you can feel the attendance. So can someone just help me with this one? It's still the same. Okay, give me a few minutes. Okay, few minutes. I'm going to sort that out, please. Just few minutes. So someone is going to sort that out while we move on with the class, but before the end of the class, it should. So the next slide is the AWS global infrastructure. So when we talk about AWS global infrastructure, we're talking about the edge locations, the regions. Okay, okay, few minutes. When we talk about global infrastructure, we're talking about the edge location, the regions, okay, the different regions where AWS operates. So these are the AWS global infrastructures. So for AWS global infrastructure, we have the AWS region, which are London, US East, and all of that, United Arab Emirates, and so many others. And for AWS availability zone, we're talking about a specific data center in a region. Don't worry, someone is sorting it out shortly. Okay. We're talking about a specific data center in a region. Okay. And for edge locations, we're talking about a small access point of delivery where um, where users can get access to applications, or where user can get network easily. So edge location is a small access point of delivery. Okay, so this is what we mean about AWS global infrastructure, and why AWS has multiple global infrastructure. The reason why AWS have multiple regions, like we say, is for low latency. It means for people to be able to connect with network faster, for disaster recovery issues. So if let's say if Port Harcourt or if Lagos is not having network, Port Harcourt should be able to have network. Okay. Then we have the high availability to be able to reach audience faster. Okay. And we'll have compliance. So these are the reasons why AWS has multiple AWS regions. Okay. And we have creating of your accounts. Now, this is the assessment. So let me quickly do this. So this is how you're going to create your account. Okay. So to create your account, you're going to go to this website. This is the site. You're going to go to AWS Amazon.com, the free tier. You click on it. You're going to see free tier. You click on it. And once you click on it, you enter your details, your email, your phone number, and all of that. Okay. And then you verify. They are going to send you a link to your verification, the email you use. I'm going to send you the link right now. Just hold on. So this is how you register for your free tier account. Okay. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to show you the website now. Just bear with me a few minutes. So I'm going to show you the website. So this is what your free tier website will look like. Okay, so I'm sharing with you. So this is what the AWS free tier website, when you go to it, this is what it's going to look like. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? So this is what the AWS free tier is going to look like. Can you see the screen? Someone said no. Yes. Okay. So you click on where it says create a free tier account. So once you click on that, you put in your details, every information, and it's going to take you to, you put your email, every information that is needed, and that is it. It's going to take you to the it's going to take you to your account, and then you verify. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. So for the attendants, I think they're unable to sort the attendance for now. So this is what's going to happen. Okay. Can you I can see, I'm just going to drop a list right now. 1 minute. So you verify your account. We've talked about that once you've created, and securing your accounts. Okay. You do a multiple authentication factor secure your account. This is necessary. This is needed, please. Okay. And yes, so that's what I've just showed us. So 1 minute. Okay, so someone said you can now fill in the attendance form. So try to fill the attendance form again, and let's see if it goes through. If you already have an account, yes. So if you already have an account, you don't need to. But I want to confirm, the account you have, does it still have the free tier? The account you have, does it still have the free tier? If you've exhausted your free tier, please, you need to let me know. Okay. But if you already have an AWS account, you don't need to you don't need to create another account. Okay. But if you don't have, then you have to create. Okay. So we've done this. So now AWS just recently launched what is called AWS Sandbox environment. So if you don't have the account, you just create an account. Okay. What do you mean by no, Mark? Can you tell me? I don't understand. So if you don't have the AWS account, okay, you have to create, and also create this. This is Sandbox environment. Okay, you create this, and your assessment. So this is your assessment. So this is your assessment. I'm going to put it on the Slack group as well. So this is your assessment. You create your AWS accounts. Okay, your assessment. You create an AWS account with your free tier. Okay, and once you create an AWS account with your free tier, you have to enable the multiple authentication factor. You also have to create an IAM account, and you need to study the AWS documentation I told you, and come with a question for next class. Okay. So this is the assessment. I'm going to put it in the Slack, don't worry. And I'm going to leave all of the links in the Slack groups as well. Okay. So for the assessment, no, we can't use Google Meeting for the class. I'm sorry. Because of the number of people joining, we can't. Google Meeting only accept a few numbers. Okay. But I'll see, but we can't. So now for the access for the I don't know why you're unable to. You've exhausted the tier. If you've exhausted the tier, next class, okay, just chat me up on the Slack and I will tell you on what to do. Okay. I'll tell you on what to do. Just chat me up on the Slack channel. Um, okay, so for your attendance today, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Since the attendance sheet is having since the attendance sheet is having issues, so for today's class, I will take notes from those on the comment section which I saw. Okay. So I'm going to take your names from the comment section. I think I should be able to do that. Okay. And then I would use it to fill the attendance in your place. Is that okay? Does that work for you? Is that okay? Why we sort the attendance for next class? Is that okay? So for the attendance, I'm going to take the comment sections and use it to fill the attendance in your place while we sort the attendance for next class. Okay. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for today's class. Did you enjoy today's class? Did you enjoy the class for today? If yes, can you please put in the comment section? Did you enjoy the class for today? Yes. Did you all enjoy the class for today? Okay, someone said, "Oh, you enjoyed it. That's nice. Thank you." What Please, can you guide us on how to sign into? I will. We're going to do that next class, okay? So I'm going to help you sign up on your GitHub and set up your profile. Okay, that is next class. And that is why I'm giving you an assessment to have your AWS account ready. Because next class, you are going to be building or deploying an application. We'll do little practice next class. So next class, that is why I have given you the assessment now for you to have your AWS account ready for next class. Okay, that is why I have given you the assessment. So I would walk you through on this, how to sign up on GitHub, and how to post your project on LinkedIn. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, the form says already. No problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your information from the comment section and fill the form for you on your behalf. Okay. So I'm really sorry for the inconveniences. So for the form, the names here would be different from. Oh, really? The names here is different from. Okay, no, I'm not taking the names from Slack. I'm taking the names from the comments. Okay, the names is different from the one in Slack. Oh, really? Okay, so what do you think should be the alternative for this right now? Since the names here is going to be the names different from Slack. So what do you think is the alternative to fill the to subsidize for this form? I wanted to take the names here. I wanted to take the names here and fill in the form on your behalf. Time duration, the class is 2 hours, so it ends at 7. It already ends. So if you want to log out here. So we start from 5 to 7, 2 hours. You want to say, okay, so, okay, this is what you're going to do. Everyone, send me your names. Send me your names on the Slack. Do you think that works? This was a free pass. Okay, so, okay, let's vote. Okay, so let's vote. Do you want free pass for today, or you want sending your names to the Slack channel and I'll fill it in? Which one do you want? So let's vote. Free pass or sending your names? Which one do you want? Free pass for today or sending your names? No, 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 no. We can always watch that again now. But just tell me. No, but this is possible. But now someone is saying free pass. Okay, this one says free pass. So what do you want? Free pass. Okay, free pass. I got two free pass. Free pass three. Okay, so I think okay. Okay, even Root is saying free pass. Okay, Root okay. So I got a lot of free pass for 2 hours class. Yes, the class is 2 hours. Yes, the class is 2 hours. It's here. It's written here. Mary, why? Do you want it more hours or why? The class is for 2 hours. So the class starts at 5. Okay, the class starts at 5 and it finishes at 7. So the class correctly ends. Let's send our names along on the YouTube name. So okay, this is what we're going to do. A lot of people want free pass, so free pass we're going to do for today's class. Okay. So please, your assessment, I'm going to send it immediately right now to the Slack channel. I love the way it's on YouTube more. I love the way it's on YouTube. No more. 2 more. Okay. 2 hours is okay. Yeah, 2 hours fine. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. The class for today is free pass, and apologies for the attendance for today and your assessment. So before you submit your assessment for today's class on Wednesday, your assessment for today's class is to be submitted on Wednesday. I'm going to send you the message on Slack. Hope you all are active on Slack, because this is where you get informations. So I'm going to send you detailed assessment on Slack. I'm going to leave the links that I wanted to post here for you on Slack. Okay. And also any questions or challenges. And I will fix these links before your submission on Wednesday. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Saturday, same time, 5 p.m. West African time. Okay. So bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.